This is going to be the first of a weekday series of live practices to help you remain connected to your own embodied experience, to help you remain connected to your own embodied wisdom. Because when we can remain connected, we can show up better for everything that's happening in our lives. And that means everything that's happening in the world. And right now, there's a lot to show up for. Whether or not you're in a particular city, we're aware of what's happening here in the United States, in our country. And this is the time that our yoga practice is made for. Sometimes when horrific things happen, it's hard to feel our body. It's hard to feel our breath. When that happens, it's not because anything is wrong with you. It's because your body is trying to protect you. If you are in physical danger, please move to safety. Please move those you love to safety to the best of your ability. If you're out of physical and or psychological danger and you're still feeling that way, it's because your body needs you to come home. And everything you do after that is going to be more effective. Having your personal practice of yoga is not selfish. It's about sovereignty, your energy being reclaimed by you to use in the way that you choose. This is going to be a short 15-minute practice to help you land back in your body. We're going to use breath. We're going to use a mantra, and we're going to use some really simple movements that most of us will be able to do. Not everybody. I'll try to give some modifications. The first one that we're going to begin with, and the most important thing that you can do, is to coordinate the movements with your breath. I'm going to ask you to sit on the floor on a blanket if you have that available. And if you don't have that available, sit in a chair. You can do the same thing from a chair. I'm going to ask you to elevate your hips if you're sitting on the floor, because for most people raised in countries where we don't sit on the floor, that's how your hips are going to be able to move the best. You're going to put your hands behind yourself and then set your feet down wider than a yoga mat. All we're going to do is we're going to inhale at center and exhale, rotate onto the inside of one foot, keeping this knee to the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale down and inhale up. This is the whole practice right now, coordinating your breath with the movement. Thank you for your kind comments. I can't see them right now, but I will respond when we're done. Exhale down and inhale up. This is a form of crow walking. So there are some simple principles that we're going to follow. The first is you want to move in your pain-free range of motion. Even if that's a tiny range, it will eventually expand. If you exhale in closing motions and inhale in opening motions. Feel the sensation of the breath moving out of your nose and into your nose. Feel the sensations on the inside and the outside of your hips. If you're sitting in a chair, you're just going to brace your hands behind you on the chair and make probably a slightly smaller motion. We're going to do one more time on each side. And then coming back to center, sit fully upright. If you're on the floor, and you can, find a comfortable cross-legged seat. If this isn't going to work for you for, say, 2 to 3 minutes, then sit with your legs out. Find a seat that feels comfortable. You can do this from a chair. On an inhales now, we're going to press down through the sitting bones, lift up through the top of the head. And then as you exhale, you're going to rotate to one side. Inhale through center, feeling the length of your spine, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, create space. Exhale, move into that space. Inhale, expand, and exhale. Find your revolution. This is how sustainable revolutions happen and are happening right now. Things that create a space, things that move into the space, and from there we can build. We can do this in our practice. We can do this with our breath. The next time you're at center, reverse the cross of your feet. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Feel your rib cage expand from side to side. And exhale. The first time I did this series over 20 years ago, my mind got really bored. I thought, this isn't what I came to this workshop to learn. That boredom was my teacher. With simple repetitive movements, as long as we're moving with the breath, every motion is an invitation to our body to come back, to bring our attention back. Now, next thing I'm going to ask you to do is to come around to all fours. We're going to take 5 cat dog poses. We're going to move slowly from tail to head. Inhale, lift your tail, drop through your belly and chest, look up. As you exhale, start with the tailbone, drop it down, lift your belly, lift your rib cage, look back. Inhale. As you're opening the front of your spine toward the ground, look up, feel that extension. As you exhale, feel your core coming up to protect and support your strong, strong back. Deep breath in. Complete breath out. This time, as you inhale into dog tilt, shift your hips back. And then exhale and wave forward. This time, as you shift your hips back, if it's okay in your knees, sit back on your heels. If that's not going to work for you, find a comfortable cross-legged seat. We're going to move breath in a more stable seated container now. You can do this part from a chair as well. If you'd like, You can rest your left hand on top of your right with your thumbs almost touching. This is a mudra, or a hand seal, called Dharana mudra. And then you want this to rest sort of at the level of your navel. From here, I'm going to ask you to exhale as completely as you can. Allow your navel to come in, back, and up. And then I want you to inhale and relax. Exhale. Squeeze the breath out. And then just relax. And notice the inhale happens like a gift. We're going to do that 3 more times. Exhale, 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 exhale. Pull out. Exhale. One more time. And then just return to natural patterns of breathing. Next, I'm going to ask you to bring your hands to the lowest part of your rib cage. So it's sort of like standing with your hands on your hips, but way too high. Now, you're going to breathe using your inhale to push your ribs in your hands apart. Hands go apart because you inhale laterally, moving your hands apart. Exhale. Let your hands come together. Now, if any of this isn't working exactly the way I say, that's perfectly okay. Try to find the feeling that I'm indicating. Good. Now, we're going to come up to standing for just a moment. Again, you can do this seated on the floor, seated in a chair. If you'd like to come to standing with me, shift forward, turn your toes under. And if it's okay with your knees, come to a low squat. You could also come directly to forward fold. Anytime you're in a forward fold, in order to be kind to your low back, make sure that your knees are bent enough that there's full contact between the torso and the thighs. From here, I'm going to invite you to roll up. So if you're in a forward fold, bring your forearms to your shins. And then lift the pelvic floor, that's Mula Bandha. And then draw the forward hip points together. And then start to stack your spine from the inside. One vertebrae at a time. And reach your arms up. And then exhale down through center. We're going to now take a really strong breath. Sometimes moving slowly is hard when the news scales up anxiety. Sometimes it's helpful to have a breath that moves a little faster. So we're gonna move kind of fast. We haven't done this one in a long time, so I'm gonna go slower maybe than usual. This is called bellows breath or Bhastrika. We're gonna start with the arms in cactus. Go ahead and shrug your shoulders up to your ears for a second and then exhale. Let them go. Great. Now come up to cactus with softer shoulders perhaps. Press your elbows apart. Take a deep breath in and then exhale. Close your forearms to the best of your ability in front. Strong breath in through the nose. Strong breath out through the nose. Now notice my rib cage is remaining stable. I'm not doing cat dog at the same time. You'll know that you're doing it if snot flies or if you feel like you're smiling with your cheekbones. Next time your hands are together, draw them down through midline. Once again, return to this feeling of lateral breathing. Inhale and the ribs go apart, and exhale and they fall back together. And since we're standing, I'm going to invite you to step your left foot forward, your right foot back, bend that left knee, lift the right kneecap, and then lift elevator drawstring zipper, come back to cactus, or any form of up arms that makes sense to you. You don't have to turn your head up, turn your eyes up, and notice the movement of your diaphragm at the base of your rib cage as you breathe. Feel your footprints on the ground and feel the steadiness of your body from the waist down and the freedom of your breath in your upper body. On an inhale, reach out. And then, as if the pelvic floor is like an elevator, step forward, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, we're going to project the left foot back, bend the right knee, press into the left heel. Lift elevator drawstring zipper and take any form of up arms that would feel good for you right now. Press into your footprints. Breathe laterally. You might turn your drishti, your gaze, up. And then on an inhale, expand, exhale, return to center mountain. Now, we're going to come back to sitting on the ground. If you'd like, you can join your hands at your chest. You could also turn your palms up for energy or down for calm. Exhale as completely as you can. Notice at the end of that exhale, first of all, that it has an end. And then that you can stay there. Your body will know when to breathe in again, and then allow your body to draw the breath in. Notice there's a pause at the top of the breath too. Rest for that moment in the abundance of your breath. Exhale. Let that go. Find stillness for that fraction of a moment before your body says it's time to expand and draw the next breath in. Pause. Take 3 more breaths, focusing on the pauses between these active phases of breathing. These are called kumbhak. They're not holding, they're simply pausing. It's a simple training in finding that fraction of a second to slow things down. Recapture your own attention and reclaim your energy so that you can be of the greatest service to yourself and to others. And then you might place your hands over your heart. You could also take a different mudra. Left hand closer to the heart. Hook the thumbs together, and then you place this over the solar plexus. This is Garudra Mudra, and it is for connected courage. The courage to remain embodied, remain connected to your own wisdom, and to act when action is the next right thing. Now, this mantra is one that was given to me. It's not going to be appropriate for everybody. So if this doesn't resonate, leave it by the side. Focus on the pause breaths. Inhale, find the pause. You don't have to count. You don't have to do anything except listen to your body about when it's time to let the breath go. Pause. And your body will tell you when it's time to draw it back in. That's the whole practice. If you would like, you might repeat to yourself aloud, my peace is my protection. My peace is my protection. The inner sense of calm that comes from being connected to my own embodied experience, from reclaiming my attention in each and every moment. That is my peace. It helps me to remain, to abide in the present moment, to discern the next right action for me. My peace is my protection. It's okay if that particular mantra doesn't work. It's not going to work for everyone in every situation. It doesn't mean that we hide. It means that peace is something that we can find even when. I want to encourage you to find a short practice that you can return to once a day. This is like an anchor for our attention. It's like a reminder to reclaim. Now, 15 minutes may be too long. For some folks, in some times of life, it truly, truly is. Find 2, find 5, find what works. If you'd like, you can now lay down wherever you are. Prop yourself completely if you want, or just let go. You could even just sit. And this is Shavasana. This is final resting pose. Traditionally, we lay down. Find what's going to feel like a restful pose for you. And then release all effort of breathing. And at first, you might notice that you either breathe more, like harder, or you might notice that you hold your breath. That's okay. Just notice that and let that take you back to your natural breath. And then notice the part of you that's noticing. This is not a thinker. This is not a planner. This is not a doer. This is awareness. Having released all effort of breathing, let your body know that for these few moments, there's nothing left to do. Let your muscles know that it's okay to let go. You might start to feel as if your breath is waving through your body, or that your bones are floating. in its oceanic waters. And release all effort of being. Right now, there's nowhere to go, nothing to do, no one to be. Rest here as long as you would like. If this is meant to be a short practice for you, you might start to gather your attention back by listening for the beating of your own heart. Whether you hear it or not, simply listening. And then activate the soft palate at the upper back part of your mouth by trying to smile with the back of your mouth. Feel your breath in your nostrils. And try to feel all over your skin at once. Behind your eyelids, circle your eyes in one direction and then the other. And as you're ready, spiral up and find a comfortable seat. The end of each practice, we reconnect, opening the sense gates, each of the 5 senses. And then we feel the parts of the body that are on the ground. Feel your rib cage ride your breath. If you'd like, happy yoga day. May your practice support you. It reaches out, it touches your entire world. I'll see you tomorrow for another live practice. More engaged, more heating. And I will see you then. Thank you for being here.